Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hansen. Thanks for joining me today. We're in March. We were sitting there in December and January and wondering if spring is ever going to come, and then it's finally here. And so hopefully you are going to be having a chance to stop into Vergas and see what we've got going on. I noticed that March is always daffodil days, and the first week in March is when we buy our daffodils and we start thinking spring and thinking wonderful yellow flowers coming up, and it's also a way that we can support the American Cancer Society. So be sure and stop in at the Vergas State Bank and talk to Jane Christensen, and she'll be able to either sell you some daffodils or take your donation if you want to send daffodils to somebody else. And so keep Daffodil Days in mind. The other thing that March brings to mind is Lent, and our area churches have given me their information that they've got going on for their Lenten services. The Lakes Fellowship Church, which is located right on Main Street in Vergas, have services on Wednesday night and on Sunday mornings, and their Wednesday night service is at 7 and Sunday morning is at 10 a.m. So be sure and stop in there and check out what they've got going on. And if you would like to attend any services at the Frazee Vergas United Methodist Church, I've got the Vergas schedule here. They're going to be doing a theme this year from Is This the Carpenter's Son? It's from Mark 6, and that is going to be their focus. They switch back and forth between the Frazee and the Vergas Church each Wednesday evening, and so on Ash Wednesday, which is March 9th, the first service will be in Frazee, and then every other Wednesday night will be Vergas, then Frazee. So the first Vergas service will be on Wednesday night, March 16th, and it'll be at 7 p.m. And then when we get into the Holy Week, we'll have Maundy, Thursday service. That's on the 21st, and they'll have a potluck supper at 6 with their 7 p.m. service. They'll have their Good Friday service at 7 p.m., and then their Easter service will be at 10:30 a.m. And so check out what they've got going on for their theme, which is This the Carpenter's Son? St. John, St. Paul, and Vergas services. They will start out their Ash Wednesday service. The 5:30 services at St. John's and the 7:30 services at St. Paul's. And their theme this year is the Passion of the Lord according to St. Matthew. One of the fun things that they're going to be doing this year is incorporating their youth, and the youth will be portraying the Passion story each week through characters, through sets, through props, and they'll be reading the scripture of the Passion of the Lord according to St. Matthew and playing it out. And this is a youth group from St. John, St. Paul's. They'll be doing that every Wednesday night starting the 16th through sunrise service, and that is, the services are at St. Paul's that the youth will be doing, and that's at 7:30 p.m. And then they go through the Good Friday service, and then their Easter sunrise service, which brings it all to home with Jesus conquering death and coming out of the tomb, and they have that in their cemetery. And so they've got a lot of interesting things to bring to you and bring the story of the Passion through each week. And so the service at 5:30 is at St. John's, and the service at 7:30 is at St. Paul's, and the 7:30 service is the one that the youth will be doing. And then there's potluck supper after the 5:30 one, and then there's supper or some kind of a lunch always after the 7:30 one out at St. Paul's also. The St. John's LWML quilters need some funds for their quilting supplies, and so they're having a soup supper, which will be held right after Ash Wednesday service on March 9th. So if you get a chance to come to service at 5:30 and then join in with the LWML for their soup supper, they're having homemade soups, homemade breads, probably some kind of dessert with that too, and it's a great time to just visit with your friends that are there too. When I think of the Lenten season, I always think of fish fries. You can't get by a Lenten season without fish fry. Our youth from the area just actually had a fish outing, so they were trying to catch fish for the one fish fry that is held out at St. Paul's Church. That's on March 13th. Everybody's invited. It's after the 10:30 service, so it's usually at 11:30. So you can consider 11:30. There'll be a fish fry out at St. Paul's Lutheran Church on Loon Lake. And their fundraising that they do for that one, we always call it the Isleta Fish Fry. And I think if you've watched this show before, you know that our mission trip that we take down to the Isleta Lutheran Mission in El Paso, Texas, and go into Juarez, we're raising money for that. And a lot of you know there are some concerns because of the violence going on down there. And so our focus is still to go down there, but obviously common sense will prevail on that, and we will take a look at it because the trip isn't planned for until 2012. And regardless if we go down to Juarez, Mexico, or not, we will be going on some kind of a mission trip that we hope to bring that experience to our youth and to the people from our community. So the fundraiser is still in effect. The fish fry is still going to be there. The fish are going to be great, and the fellowship will be even better. And then the other fish fry is the Lions Fish Fry, and the Lions Fish Fry is on March 18th. They have that at the Vergas Community Center, and so come to Vergas on Friday, March 18th, and have some fish with the Lions, and get to see a lot of people that you don't other times of the year too. And so I think what it does is it just kind of indicates to us all that, you know, spring is coming closer, and the Lenten season, the daffodil days, the fish fry, that gets it all thinking about our little community of Vergas, and how we maybe are a little bit quieter in the winter months. Obviously there's a lot of people that go south, and we love to see the snowbirds come back. We're all anxious when our snow goes, and we know that those people are coming back and opening up the cabins. And so with that in mind, I do want to emphasize again, we've talked about it before, but the 350 project, the 3/50. You think about 3 businesses in your community that you want to just target for the month, and stop in and say hi and spend $50 at that business. And if we would do this, and all of us would do this, I think, well, I'm going to just read what they have to say here. In the whole 350 project, there's a website out there too that you can go to, that you can get some information on that. You visit the 350project.net. But if you think about 3 independently owned stores that you'd miss the most, that they were gone. So just think about any of your stores here in Vergas, and if it was gone, we would miss it. And so take time, stop in, not only and say hello, but pick up something that you would normally drive to another community to get. And your contribution is going to keep that business around. Because if you think about spending $50 each month to an independently owned store, that purchase goes right back into the community. The positive impact of keeping the people employed in this community and keeping that business here, it just outweighs anything that you can even think of. Because for every $100 spent at an independently owned store, you can figure $68 of that returns right back into the community, not only through taxes, but through payroll and other expenditures. If you spend that at a national chain, maybe only $40-some stays here. If you spend it online, nothing stays in your community. So it takes you. You're the #1 person to start, and you're the #1 person that it takes to keep the trend going, and to keep talking to people about it, and shop locally. We've got a great community here. We love to see people come here. We want to see all of our businesses thrive and stay part of the Vergas community, and you can be a part of that. So have a good day in Vergas. Stop in and see us.